Hey guys, welcome to Lounge TV. I'm Larry, and today, guess where I'm going? Over Joe's, because he's got water problems again. This is a little bit different. It's his water pressure in his house, and if anybody's familiar with a well, you have a bladder tank that sometimes can lose air pressure, sometimes they go bad. I got to go over determine whether it's bad. Sometimes your pressure switch goes bad. So maybe it's his gauge, I'm not sure. I'll have to go over and check. But so the tools that I'm going to need for this is a little different this time. I'm taking a bucket. And the reason why I'm taking this bucket here is because I can sit on it, turn it upside down. But I need an air pump, right, in case the belt bladder needs to have air in it. I have a gauge. I have some flashlights. I have a couple of wrenches in there. I brought that. I don't even know why I brought my Teflon tape. But I need this because Joe has a he has a water filter that he said he can't get it off in the upstairs, and because there's no room behind it to get any kind of wrench on it or anything like that. So I'm going to take that, and he said there's barely any room behind it, so I can use that to unscrew that so he can put a new filter in there. But yeah, so I have to go over there. I don't like going down in his basement, but I don't like going down in mine. So it's mine's short, but his is shorter. So it's a little bit pain in the neck. But I have my boots out there just in case there is water laying in his basement, because in case there's a leak. Well, I don't know what I'm going to encounter when I go over there. It's always something. You expect one thing and it's always something else. So his water pressure could be because he has a leak down there. He doesn't think he has a leak because he hasn't heard anything, but I'll investigate when I go down there. If it's just his bladder tank needs some air pressure in it, then it should be, half-hour job at most. You just have to turn your power off and stuff. And I'll go over that when I'm over his house and tell you guys what to do on that. Matter of fact, I just had to do mine. It's kind of weird. He has that problem, and then I had a problem here with my water pressure. I went down there. My bladder tank isn't that old. He said this isn't it either, so it shouldn't be the bladder burst, but sometimes they do. But mine, I went down there, and so I went to check it, and my gauge wasn't working, the pressure gauge, and that just it's a dial with, just like air pressure, like on your air compressor. So I replaced that. Luckily I had one here because I was going to do this a long time ago. So I replaced that. Wow, I just saw a big branch just come out of the tree and laying on the ground out there. Can you see it in the driveway? It is really windy outside right now. I'm gonna have to go get that. Jeez, that would have been nice walking down to get the mail and fall on somebody, right? Or their car. Anyway, so I went down there and changed that out, and then found out that my pressure switch was bad. So I had to replace my pressure switch. So the way our pump is because it goes through a water system afterwards, we lose a lot of pressure to begin with. So usually the pumps are the pressure switches are set like 40-60 or 35 or 30-50 or 40-60. And you got to put your air in your bladder has to be 2 pounds below that. Well, luckily my bladder tank was fine. But even when I had the 40-60 switch, it was still not quite enough pressure. And they recommend you don't go over 80 pounds of pressure in your house, because that's when your plumbing can fail. So I wanted to increase it, so I increased it up to about, I think the pump kick on now is like 40, I'm trying to think, 46, I think it is. So it kicks on there, so it's roughly, and then it goes off at around 70. No, 48, 68 or something like that. It's a 20-pound difference anyway. But now my pressure is beautiful and everything is fine here. So his house, I don't know that's one of the first things I got to determine is what his cutoff, or his cut in and his cutoff is. So, and the way you do that is you just go down there. You have your gauge there, and you have somebody open a faucet up and just let it run, and then you watch the pressure go down. As soon as the pump kicks on, that's when you know when the cut off or the cut in pressure is. So whatever that is, just say it's 40. the pump kicks on, then it'll go up, and you watch that till when all of a sudden the dial stops. When the pump kicks off, that's your cutoff. So that's how you determine what he has set up as. And then you got to drive. I told you I would do this over there, but I might as well do it here because it's harder to talk down in his basement. And then what you do is you have to shut off the power to it, because usually they're 220. You don't mess with 220. That can kill you for sure. You have to cut off the power to it. Then you have to shut off your water, your main line to your house. Then you run a hose to the bottom of your tank, and there should be a little spigot there that you can put a hose onto. Drain your tank so that the pressure goes all the way down to 0. Then you take an air, just like a tire pressure gauge, and you check your tank pressure, and that should be 2 psi below whatever that cut-in point was. So if it was 40 pounds pressure coming on your pump, then you want to have enough air in there for 38 pounds of pressure. And then you just go in reverse steps after that. So after you get it to 38 pounds of pressure, then you can shut off that spigot, right? And then you can turn your power back on to your pump, and then you can put your house water on, and then you can let your pressure go up, and then check your water. Then you can, after that's all done, you can check your water to see if that's your if your pressure is where it is. If it's not, then I'm going to have to adjust the pressure switch to make it a little bit higher. But that's real difficult too, because it's like every rotation for the little nut that's on top, every rotation is like 2 to 3 psi. So I have to be careful not to over tighten it, because then the pressure will be way too high. Because they're always, that one bolt is going to change both the cut-in and the cut-off by 20 psi. You can change the cut-off, but you don't do that. You want it 20. You want 20 there. So anyway, hopefully I don't have to do that with his. Hopefully it's just the bladder. It just needs a little bit of air, because they do lose air after a while, because they're constantly, going. And it just, but if there's a crack in it, and the way you can tell that is when you check the pressure of the tire. It's just like a car tire. It has a little thing on there, and I'll show you that. When you go to check that, if water spurts out of that, that means there's water inside the bladder, and that can't be. Then you got to get a new bladder tank, which will be a whole another ball game that we'd have to do. They're not that difficult to replace. And he'll still have water until we can do all that. But for now, we're just going to check to see if the bladder just needs a little bit of air. Sometimes they lose air after a while. I don't know how it goes out, but they do. So we'll see when I get over his house.
Well, everybody, I don't know if this looks familiar to you, but it does to us. We're going to lose.
Yeah, so here's the problem, guys. I went down there. Joe's gauge doesn't work at all. It's pinned at 52, and he's got a leak coming out of his pipe. So I have to replace some piping that goes into his tank, and since I'm doing that, might as well replace the pressure switch also. So we're going to Lowe's, get all this stuff.
We're going to Lowe's. I feel like it's a common theme in my house.
Yeah, and every time you think that it's something simple, it becomes this whole other thing.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's not just your house, because the exact same thing happened to my house.
See, and it's weird. So, luckily he just went through this, so he knows what he's doing. But you tend to know what you're doing anyway, even if he didn't just get through it. Well, I did watch a lot of videos on this stuff so that I would know. What type of videos, Larry? YouTube videos. Crazy. Yeah, and that's the funny thing, is like that you can learn just about how to do anything, just about, Yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes you to step out of your comfort zone, of course, but with this, it's pretty simple stuff. It's pretty straightforward. It's not really that difficult. It's just a matter of getting down there, getting it done. Yeah, I think my hardest problem is always gauging the pipes. Like, what size pipe are they? It's not written on the outside. Is it an inch pipe? Is it an inch and a quarter? Yeah, that would be convenient. Yeah, so I'm holding the measuring tape there, trying to hold it as still as I can to see what, and I'm pretty sure your pipe is 1 1/4 inches, but I'm not. Well, you'll find out, guys. If we have to go back to Lowe's, and you know that it wasn't. Right. All right, well, we'll see you in a bit. Well, we're on our way back from Lowe's. Yeah, Lowe's sucked. Did not have what we needed.
Nope.
So we're going to Amazon. We're not going to the Amazon.
We're driving to Amazon right now, the headquarters.
Yeah. And we're gonna get our stuff. So we're gonna order from Amazon, and then we'll get the fix in.
Let me just tell you guys. So the pressure, just the pressure switch that you have to get for that, right? Was at Lowe's was like $44 or something like 50. That. And you can get them at Amazon for, what did we see them? 20 bucks?
You can get the whole entire kit, everything that we would need, for like $49.
Yeah, that's the pipe and both, you know, the switch and the gauge.
Yeah, everything. And we would have spent, if the T thing, it doesn't matter why it didn't work, but if that would have worked, it would have been like $120, $130 easy.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm down.
Yeah. So yeah, we won't be able to get it done today. I will take the camera down with me so I can just show them what's going on down there.
Yeah, because then you can see before and after.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to order the stuff, and then part 2 will come out when we're
done.
I'm not closing out yet because I want to show them what's going on.
Yeah. So we're not saying anything.
Yeah. All right, I'm down in Joe's basement, so let me show you what we got going on down here. So there's this gauge that's not working right there, and we're gonna have to change this pressure switch also. But the problem is where it's leaking. Let's see. Oh shoot. There we go. Where it's leaking is right here. And if you can see how rusted that thing is, it's going to be fun trying to get that out of there. And I'm afraid that it might break off when I try to turn that. So we did get a brass fitting. I'm going to see if this is the right size for it. I think it is. So I'm going to set the camera like this. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Anyway, so I got this brass fitting, as you can see. And I'm pretty sure that this is the right size to go in there. It looks like that might be smaller though. Might have to be smaller than this end. I think it might be 3/4 inch on that end. Alright, so I also brought a piece of 1-inch pipe down with me right here, because I wanted to make sure that this is all the same size right here, because it's very hard. I have a hard time judging the size of a piece of pipe. So, and that looks like it could be smaller, so that might be 3/4 inch. I don't know, it's pretty close. Huh. Alright, well anyway, so what we have to do is we have to replace all this right down in here, and that's what we couldn't find at Lowe's, so we're going to search on Amazon and see if we can find it there. So stay tuned, we will have a part 2 coming up as soon as Amazon delivers. Until next time, grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up and relax. I'll meet you at the lounge.